He's pretending to be looking for bugs, but really he wants to peck you to death. It's a very frosty morning, of course, because the other day I made a video about how warm the weather is. So today everything's covered in frost. I have severe anxiety this morning. It's been building over the past week. The reason is lack of self-care. And this is something that everybody talks about when it comes to parenting, but I don't agree with the way that they talk about it. Self-care seems to be like trips to the spa and hanging out with your friends. And maybe for some people that's what it is. But for me, self-care is I need to be alone. Look at this cat. Are you stuck, Dewey? What's going on, buddy? How are you gonna get down from there? You did it! For me, self-care looks like spending time alone. What gives me anxiety is other people. I don't know how to explain this. Someone said to me recently that they thought I was a very spiritual person, which I thought was a strange thing to say because I never would have described myself as a spiritual person. I'm an atheist, and I believe in evolution, and I'm a very science-based person. But then I started thinking more about what she meant. And I think maybe what she meant by spiritual is that I'm a person who understands this sort of the interconnectedness of everything. There's this sort of idea that seems to come from Western medicine about, there's your mind and here's your body. There's mental health and there's physical health. There's your heart, there's your lungs, there's your, and that they're completely separate things. I have experienced myself that everything's connected. If you have something wrong with your mind, it affects your body. If you have something wrong with your body, it affects your mind. They're all connected. So if that's what she meant by spiritual, then yes, I guess I'm a spiritual person. So what causes my anxiety is, the best way I could describe it is that it's like, okay, so science tells us that everything vibrates. And the speed at which something vibrates is called the frequency. That's scientific. I believe, or I feel like the frequency at which a person vibrates changes based on their emotional state. So I think that when the girls are angry, they vibrate at a different frequency. That's how it feels to me anyway. When the girls are sad, they vibrate at a different frequency. When they're happy, they vibrate at a different frequency. And I feel like I am very, very sensitive to those frequencies. I can really feel it. So, I can always tell when my husband comes home and he's had a hard day. I can feel it. I can feel it in the air. I can feel his anger and his frustration. So feeling those frequencies all day is what makes me really good with children, but it's also exhausting. If you were to... Yeah? It is ice on the ground. If you were to use a jackhammer all day, just think of how you would feel by the end of the day. You know, like your whole body would be vibrating. And that's how I feel. After it's been about a week that I haven't been taking care of myself since Abby got sick. She's been sick for almost a week. I haven't had any alone time. I haven't had any quiet time. I haven't had any time to calm down the vibrations in my body. And so my chest hurts and I feel like shaky, like I've had way too much coffee. And the children's energy is physically painful to me. Like it hurts me in my chest. I've gotten really good at masking. Masking means hiding it. So that they can't really tell how horrible I feel. I don't look like I'm struggling. That's what the ducks say when I bring them water. My hose is frozen this morning, so we have to improvise. So yeah, I've gotten really good at masking my symptoms so that nobody can tell how terrible I feel. But it accumulates, you know? I have a hard time sleeping because I'm so twitchy. When my chest hurts, I tend to hunch over to sort of like a turtle, you know, to protect it, which gives me migraines. And then when I get migraines, I have to medicate. And then when I medicate, it causes other problems. So it's very important to take care of myself so that I don't get trapped in this cycle, because this cycle can, you know, it can get really bad. And when it gets really bad, everybody suffers. You know, I'm not a very good mom when my anxiety's really bad. I'm not a very good teacher when anxiety gets really bad. I lose my temper a lot. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have any opportunity to take better care of myself for the next few days. So I have to sort of pull out my emergency measures, which is I listen to calming music, I lower our expectations. So today you'll sort of have to watch, and I'll try to explain as the day goes on how I'm coping with my hard day and trying not to let it ruin the girls' day. Wish me luck. All right, tell me about it.
So this is a dragon, and a bush, and a cliff, and then this nest is inside.
Cool. So since Abby's still not feeling better after an entire week almost, we went to the nurse this morning. And it turns out that she doesn't just have worms, she also has a urinary tract infection. So she's gonna have to go on antibiotics. While I was gone, I left Bethany and Hannah with Bethany's dad and Oobleck, which was a silly idea of me. I don't know what I was thinking. So there was a complete disaster when I got home. Abby's really losing her temper a lot right now because she's just been sick for so long, and Bethany's ADHD is off the charts recently, and I haven't figured out why that is. So they're both really testing me. Lots of deep breaths, lots of staying calm, lots of lowering my expectations.
Why?
So when you take, remember we talked about how there's bacteria in your body, and some of it's good and some of it's bad. So Abby has bad bacteria in her bladder, and it made her sick. So we need to give her antibiotics, and antibiotics kill all the bacteria in her body.
And it tastes gross.
No, they taste okay actually. They're kind of, I mean, they fill it with sugar and make it taste like strawberry or bubblegum or whatever.
Has she taken her antibiotics?
No, I haven't gone to the pharmacy yet because I figured it wouldn't be ready yet. So it's gonna kill all the bacteria in her body. It's gonna kill the bad bacteria, yay! But it's also gonna kill the good bacteria. So we're gonna have to feed her another kind of medicine called probiotics, which are full of good bacteria, to try and help make her healthy again. So we need to kill off the bad bacteria and then build up the good bacteria. Does that make sense?
We have to give her lots of fruit and veggies.
And then also, there's other things that can help you build up your good bacteria, like yogurt is full of good bacteria. Maybe we can make some sort of frozen yogurt treat or something like that.
For all of us?
Yeah. That sounds like a good idea.
I know.
You want to play with the oobleck?
Yeah,
Abby, I have oobleck. I would love for you to play with it, but I don't want mess all over the house. So if you want to play with the oobleck, you either have to play with it outside, in the garage, or I suppose you could play with it in the bathroom, in the bathtub. You don't have to put water in the bathtub, but you have to sit in the bathtub because I don't want to have to clean oobleck up again. What do you think? Yeah, I found it doesn't stay in. I think maybe I need to use super glue. I can glue it in there if you want me to. Yeah, I can.
No!
Abby, one thing at a time. Calm. I can do that, yes, but you're just gonna have to wait for a minute. Okay, Abby. Calm, please. Now, you haven't answered the question about the oobleck. Do you still want to play with the oobleck? Yeah. So, I will plug in the glue gun, and while it gets hot, I will vacuum this floor, and then the glue gun will be ready. I can glue your squirrel together, and then we can decide where to play oobleck. Does that work? Okay. Carbonated, so it has bubbles. So we bought some club soda and we bought some Mentos, and we're gonna see what happens. It's in Hannah's finger. Let's see what happens. Nothing. I mean, it fizzed a little bit for sure.
Wait, maybe put it down?
That's a bit disappointing.
Put it down? Maybe? Might explode in a second?
No.
It would explode right away.
That's a bummer. Back to the drawing board. I'm gonna have to do some more research.
What is this close now? Hi, my head. It's my head. Yeah, my name is Joe. You're a Joe. Yeah, my name is Joe. Hi. Oh, I lost my head. Mommy?
Okay, girls. Is yours bigger or is hers bigger? Or are they the same?
Same.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I'd say they're the same. What about when I do that? No, whose is bigger? Yours or Hannah's?
Hannah.
I do that.
Mine.
Yeah, but is it really bigger?
Yeah.
Or does it just look bigger?
That's what better.
Yeah, it just looks bigger.
Snow. Both snow.
Yeah, they look the same. It's kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's called perspective.
What?
Well, it's actually depth perception is what that is. That's depth perception.
Done.
It does sound a lot like death perception.
Yeah. Just.
No, depth perception.
Wait, I can see that.
You don't say what?
I can see that.
You can't say it?
No.
No, it is quite hard to say.
Oh. When you do that, I fall.
Yeah. Don't fall.
Yeah.
Butter.
Yeah.
Eggs.
So the girls wanted to bake a cake for Bethany and Abby's father's birthday. While we were baking the cake, something happened and Bethany had a pretty big meltdown. Of course, I accidentally turned the camera off, so I don't have any video of that. But I can give you the basic rundown. So they decided they wanted to make a cake that was 1 tier chocolate and 1 tier vanilla. And between those 2 cakes, we needed to crack 3 eggs. Of course, everything has to be even. Otherwise, bad things happen. So Abby's not allowed to crack any eggs because nobody trusts her to wash her hands properly. So it was down to the other 2. So Bethany cracked one, Hannah cracked the other one, and about the 3rd one, Hannah suggested that Hannah crack it and Bethany open it and add it to the bowl, which was a great idea. I was so proud of Hannah for that one. But then Hannah forgot and just went through the motions, and she accidentally put the egg in the bowl. Immediately she realized what she'd done and she apologized to Bethany, but Bethany's heart was broken and off she ran crying. So I comforted Hannah first and said, we know that it was an accident. And then I went and comforted Bethany for a little while. I gave her some space to talk about her feelings, and then I reminded her that Hannah didn't mean to do that. It was an accident. And I also reminded her that we still hadn't collected the eggs from the chicken coop yet, and it was Bethany's day to collect the eggs because, of course, everyone needs a turn. So Bethany said that made her feel a bit better, but she wanted to be able to collect the eggs without Hannah's help. Now, right there, I should have just told Hannah how Bethany felt. She doesn't blame you, she's not angry, but she wants to collect the egg without you today. I didn't do that. I tried to hide it from Hannah, which was absolutely the wrong choice because you get to see what ends up happening.
It's kind of nice though.
Yeah.
Thought it was supposed to be very cold today.
Well, not very cold, just a lot colder than it has been.
Yeah.
Yeah, babe. Yeah, okay, then wait till later. Okay, then wait till later.
She's doing it now.
I don't think she is.
I don't want her to.
Bethany, you gotta learn how to drop it when it's not important.
I don't want.
Bethany! Hannah, Bethany doesn't want you to check for eggs. She's still upset about the egg incident earlier. But instead of talking to you about it, she's just getting upset. I'm finding Bethany's ADHD intolerable. And I can tell Hannah's getting frustrated with it as well. It's just really, it's like she's, and I think it's related to Hannah. I think it's got to do with Hannah being here. There's something about Hannah being here that really overstimulates Bethany, and she just acts up. I'm not quite sure. I don't understand fully the dynamics of it yet. So I'm watching and learning, but she just seems to be getting worse every day. And I really don't know. I don't know what to do. And especially when my anxiety is high, I'm not able to really problem solve the way that I can when I'm mentally healthy. And so when I don't handle her anxiety well, when I don't handle her ADHD well, she behaves even worse. You know, she becomes more insecure. She acts up even more. When she's confident, I don't think she is quite, maybe that might be it actually. It might be something about having Hannah here makes her insecure, because Hannah's older and Hannah's good at a lot of things that Bethany's not good at. And Bethany's always been a perfectionist. I think that might be it. I think that might be what's going on with her. So I'm gonna have to try and focus on helping her understand that she has her own gifts and Hannah has her own gifts, and there's no need to compete with each other. It's not, life isn't a competition. I think that's what I really need to work on. It's nice to have some idea about what to do, but at the same time, it's really overwhelming.
I like the stuck one.
You like the stuck one?
Happy birthday to you.